let's lead. Let's ride.
Unified leadership.
Light the flame, turn it up loud, remember the name.
Unified leadership.
Power and pride, we don't just talk, we testify.
Unified leadership.
Heart and grind, purpose and rhythm, perfectly timed. Bass hit heavy, croppers and rhythm, purpose and rhythm, perfectly timed. Bass hit heavy, crowd on sway. Culture, clay, truth and play. Sifu, Rafael, calm control, leaders in sync. Hearts of gold, focus sharp, the mission clear. Every step forward, silence the fear. Discipline, dripping, confidence, how we move together, we amplify. Who we are,
Unified.
what we lead.
Unified.
Stand tall,
Unified.
every time.
Unified leadership.
Raise that bar, leaders in rhythm, born to spar.
Unified leadership.
Raise that bar, leaders in rhythm, born to spar.
Leadership.
Steady and true, the sound of the few that follow new.
Unified leadership.
Strong alive, this is the beat where leaders thrive.
Unified leadership.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning. Good morning. It's Friday.
It is Friday.
Yes, Friday.
I always enjoyed Fridays, but I enjoy them more Friday mornings.
Yeah.
I get to spend time with my best friend. I don't know if you know it, but you just became my best friend and somebody who I admire, somebody I look up to, and somebody who is changing the world one voice at a time. So thank you for being that person.
Yes. And thank you. Hey, I appreciate you, brother. And I mean that, man. Like we can't talk leadership, man, and not experience real things, life, the ups and downs, the sidebar things that life is always dishing at us. But I just appreciate the rock steadiness, the accountability, the accountability, bro. I appreciate you for that. And that's something that we both knew up front, Sifu, with our backgrounds. It's just like, hey, man, we could bridge this thing together. And we still got it's so far to go, brother. It's I refuse to, Sifu, ever think about unified leadership and not see the vision that
Mm.
I know, man, is needed. It's so needed because it bonds and links, unifies so many different aspects of leadership. And I just love the feedback when I talk to different people, and they tell me all the time, man, hey, unified leadership is good. And a lot of it too. I know some of my buddies in particular, they love the song, they love the intro, the outro. It's special, bro. So yeah, man.
Yeah. I love the topic, and we started it last week. And so we changed it a little bit to today is decide or drift.
Hmm.
This morning I was at the gym and they were talking about the Knicks. And I know how you feel about the Knicks, right?
Yes, yes.
And 140 over 89. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, bro. Halftime, bro.
Oh,
They was up 47 at halftime, Seafood.
they won by 51. But listen, here's the thing. They only won by 140 because of one thing. They decided to.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
when they even got to 120, they said, hey, we're good. We can just relax, we can chill, we can hang out. But they were like, nope. Our decision is to do what we came here to do,
That's
to
right.
devastate, to show who we really are.
Yes.
And I remember back days with Reggie Miller when he used to go like this for the
Yeah.
Knicks, remember?
Despite
So
yeah.
for them to not put the brakes on, because that's the decision that a real leader makes. When things are going good, you don't just coast, you don't drift, you continue. And that's what the Knicks did. They showed true leadership by saying, we are a team, we're doing this together, and we're not going to slow down because we are good.
Right.
You don't become great by staying good.
Yes. Man, you came fired up this morning, Seafood. You already know, like, hey, basketball, man, is life. Life is basketball. As they always say, friendly game of baseball type thing. Uh, it's so much history when you talk about the New York Knicks.
Mhm.
I was blessed to be in New York City right across the street from Madison Square Garden, and I had 5 minutes to speak on something impactful. And I spoke about Willis Reed and how Willis Reed got hurt and he got back up, bro. You got back up. I got back up. Teddy Scott, my brother that's in the chat right now under Kathy Sawyer, he got back up. Jesus got back up. The ultimate. So what am I saying here? Last night it was just there was a skirmish that happened down here in Atlanta.
Mm.
It just so happened it's against Atlanta, the Hawks. But there was a skirmish, I think after game two, I believe. And all the Knicks fans down here in Atlanta, because there's a lot of New Yorkers in Atlanta, bro. Let's just get
Right.
that out there. Atlanta is filled with New Yorkers. This is the one hub that New Yorkers know of that, hey man, I'm moving to Atlanta or somewhere within this radius, cost of
Mhm.
living, all of those different things. But a lot of Knicks fans are chanting, Knicks in six, Knicks in six, Knicks in six. So for them to go out last night in that fashion, was pretty special, man. I mean, that's what you call the old fashioned freaking ass whooping, because that's what that was.
It
Um,
truly.
but when you look at the makeup of their squad, uh, they have longevity. You got three guys on that squad that all played for Villanova. Good morning, Robbie Leiter. We see you, brother. There's
Yeah.
three gentlemen on that squad: Brunson, Hart, and Bridges. They won a championship with Villanova. See, Sifu, I'm a college guy. I love college basketball,
Mm.
but I enjoy the NBA because of the players. I know
Right.
all the players from their stint in college, so to see how they continue to evolve and develop. And sometimes it doesn't work out. NBA's business. We all know it. And for those three guys to be on the same squad, I knew that was a winning recipe. I said, man, New York got something now because they got three guys that's been locked in for a long time, and came through that Villanova system, hard-nosed Philadelphia type, under the magnificent, one of the best coaches that ever lived, Jay Wright. And then when you add in uh, Abdenabi, I think it's his name. You add in Carl Towns, who went 38-1 playing for the University of Kentucky, and they lost either in the Final Four or the championship game to Wisconsin, I believe. But they were almost a perfect team that didn't lose a game, and that's only been done once with Indiana. So you're talking about some good legacy, but decide or drift. The Knicks decided last night that, hey man, we're gonna
There's no
steamroll these
drift.
guys. Yeah, we're gonna steamroll these dudes. And I love it, man. I look at so many different aspects. Like sometimes my computer chip in my brain, bro, when I think about leadership, it's just like, man, I catch myself sometimes in that same fashion of the word, drifting off in the ideas of leadership
Mm.
and how to implement those seafood. And I was sitting at the Memorial Hospital in Savannah, uh, sitting out in the hall for a minute, and some reason I start thinking about porcupines. I think now about it, and I know I heard a lady talking about porcupines getting on the elevator. She was her and her husband, and she said something about a porcupine. And I sit there, man, and I was like, man, and porcupines are rare. Have you seen a porcupine seafood in person, like just running through the streets of Farmingdale?
Not in New York. Well, there's a lot of porcupines in New York, but
Okay, okay. I mean, we have a lot of armadillos. I'm sitting here, it's my front yard back this way, but a lot of armadillos in this area. They tear your yard up too. But man, when she said that, I pictured a porcupine, and I was like, wow. What are those things called? I said spikes, seafood. I was like spikes, like those spikes on their back. Did a little research and found out they're called quills. And I was like, man, sometimes as leaders, we have to utilize our quills. We have to know when to say no. We have to know, the different aspects of leadership. And I've been hearing it, from several different leaders, even Robert Lytle. Robert Lytle, in his own right, was kind of speaking on some of those same things. So it's a great topic, man. And decide or drift, the end state of that. I tell my wife all the time, man, I start at the end and work my way back to the beginning when I problem solve. And it's just always worked for me,
Yeah.
and a
Smart way
lot
to
of,
do it.
yeah, I really do. And let me ask you this question, Sifu, and it may be dumb, but again, no holds barred when we're on here building together. It- Do you, when you're fighting martial arts wise, do you picture in your mind what you want to do to the opponent, or a move that you could do where you see the end and coming all the way back to the real time before you execute it? Does that make sense? The question I'm asking.
Would it make sense if I said I see flowers?
Hmm.
So I see flowers because that's what I'm bringing to them at the hospital. I'm just kidding.
That's a good
So,
one.
but let's continue. I love this conversation because when I was young, right, you know, a lot of people. I grew up in Hollis, Queens, Jamaica. I went to Jamaica High School, and Jamaica High School was predominantly a black school, right? I would
Okay.
say 70%, right?
Okay.
Um, and I recall the first time, it's winter time. I'm in ninth grade. I'm the same height I am now, right? I'm 6'1". That was the height I was then. And I get hit by something hard and solid on my back. And it was a snowball, but it was so cold. I turned around and it was four brothers, right? And I turned around and they expected me to freak out or anything. I just looked at them and I go, "Good shot," kind of deal. And they were like, "What's up, man?" And so all of a sudden, I didn't exclude myself. I didn't drift into like, "Oh no, let me coward or let me stand up to these guys." I was like, "Dude, good shot, man." And so I became so friendly with everyone in school that for me, I never saw color. I never saw somebody who was Chinese and people call him yellow, somebody who's Spanish and all these different things, right? I just saw a human being. And so for me, it was a decision to embrace everyone around me. For me, that's how my life has always been. From a little kid to today, I embrace every individual, right? I'm a hugger, right? So, and you saw that definitely in Tampa. And so for me, it doesn't matter um, who you are, but you have to make a decision who you are,
Mhm.
not drifting according to what others think you are. You have to listen. There's a lot of people who say, "I'm going to draw the line in the sand," but they stay on the other side of the sand. They stay on the other side of the line. They never
Right.
cross the line. They said, "This is it. This is my decision," but they don't go over it.
Mm.
They stay where they are and keep claiming, "Yeah, I drew the sign in the line, right? The line in the sand," but they haven't
Mhm.
crossed it. They don't even know what it's like to be on the other side.
Right.
And I think that's where the drift really happens for people who say something but don't do something. So this is where you decide to do something and stop the bull crap, stop the
Mhm.
nonsense, stop saying it. And actions always, always speak louder than words. Even when you say no, that's an action.
Right.
When you say yes, that's another action. In order for one of those two things to live, the other one has to be higher. The other one's going to die off, right? So if it's a no, the yes has to die. If it's a yes, the no has to die. So you can't be wishy-washy either. As a leader, sometimes, listen, we have to fire people because their brilliance is not being seen. As a business owner, I've unfortunately had to fire too many people. And the only reason I got rid of them is because they were not helping, forget my business, they were not helping my customers. My customers are my business. If you're not helping my customers and you're thinking about you, I'm not in the you business. I'm in the us business. It's all of us. So we have to make a decision, especially if you work for me, that it's not about you. When you make it about them, you becomes way bigger, way bigger. But that's the decision we have to make. So don't drift in business. Don't drift as a leader. Decide who you are. Every morning when you wake up, who are you? Coach Theo Clay made a decision. Every day he makes a decision. When he accepts a challenge, he truly steps into it.
Yeah, that's true. It's Sifu. I really follow my heart. Um, and the- and I move at God's speed, man. Like just straight up. That glow just came over my face. Just saying it. I move at God's speed, bro. That's infinite.
Mhm.
That's not carnal. That's in the spirit. And building up the spirit and fortifying the spirit helps to deal with the carnal in business, in life, in marriage, in fatherhood, in decision making. You name it. Like I've morphed into the Neo aspect of the Matrix, man. When it comes to just remove me and let God move.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and sometimes I want. It's like I'm in that duality of boxing with God, and I'm like, man. But I realized real quick that my arms are too short to box with God. I can't box with him. Like I told you last week, Sifu, the last couple of weeks has been real, bro. Shout out to Mike
Mhm.
Stevenson,
Yeah,
NYC, man. It's been real, bro.
yeah.
Because one aspect affects everything. And how do you there's a lady, and we talked about it before. Her name is Pinky. Uh she owns restaurants here in Atlanta called Slutty Vegan. I can't remember her last name. I want to say it's Cole. Um, but she's on a campaign right now, basically speaking about the rise and the fall and how she
Mhm.
drifted, how she started allowing the hype to decide her business, how she started allowing the money to decide her business. And she's been full open book. She's vulnerable with it. And I'm a comment guy, Seafood. I like reading through the comments because the comments kind of paint a picture of what people are thinking, and I do that comparison or cost analysis myself, and I'm like, I know what I think about listening to Pinky speak about the
Mhm.
rise and the fall. But a lot of people, we've been talking about it the last few days, man, just that authentic aspect of really being who we really are. Because
Right.
truth be told, man, when I think about drifting, I got a 1991 GTR Skyline twin turbo steering wheel on the right side sitting in my garage right now.
Mm.
fresh off the boat from Japan when I brought it back here to the States. That car's known for drifting, and the two back tires has the candor on it. Seafood. The two back tires do like this because of the drifting.
Right.
I've never tried it, Seafood. Not to say
Really?
I'm afraid or scared. That's just not my cup of tea. It's not my mojo. Um, I've been on naval ships that are just out there drifting, and you could feel the aura on the whole ship, like Marines and sailors feel antsy. Man, where are we going? When are we pulling into port, man? They said we're pulling into port. Then the Marines are mad at the Navy, and the Navy's already mad at us because we're taking up space on their ship.
Hmm.
Every time I think of the word drifting off into space mentally. I said it the other day with the porcupines. I could sit on the couch and drift off and accomplish nothing. And if that loop continues over and over and over and over, and we look up, see for 6 months, we're actually in the negative now. We're not even playing on an even field as a leader. If we sit for 6 months, imagine Seafood, you sit for 6 months, drifting off into space every day. Every time you think about doing something, you drift more. Uh, you're actually going in the negative because you're losing so much time. So um, you're right, Sifu. Decision making and drifting is kind of all one and the same. Because if you keep drifting as a leader, bro, especially in business, man, like you've had some faulty deals. I've had faulty deals. You've dealt with some shabby people. I've dealt with shabby people. There's people out there that think that I'm shabby, that you're shabby, and they're going to always have their reason as to why they felt like you have fired people, you have hired people, um, you've built from ground up, your vision. And others that come along, sometimes they want to take your vision and switch it over to their vision and stand there and tell you in your own building that, hey, we either do it this way or I'm firing you, Seafood, for getting all about that. Hold up. I'm the boss here. I'm the CEO. So many different levels of it, but it still boils down to the individual. It still boils down to uh, deciding that, hey man, I'm gonna wake up every day, put my best foot forward.
Boom.
I'm gonna share this stream that decide or drift. Because you could come by and watch this stream and then just drift off. Oh, they're just two guys, one New Yorker, another one with a New York Yankee cap on, and they're just talking.
I gotta say, Tio, I gotta thank you, Robert Lytle, for your comments and so forth. One of the things that he just put up here is ego,
Oh
and I
man.
heard this. You and I have both heard the same thing a million times, and that's ego is edging God out, right?
Yes,
And if you
yes.
think about that, right, for anybody who has an ego, especially speakers who think like I'm too great for the audience, I'm greater than the audience. You got to listen to me because I know it all.
Mm.
You're not delivering God's message. For me, when as a speaker, you yourself as a speaker, we have unique ways of how we deliver a message, but I believe that they both land in a certain way that really touches somebody
Yeah,
because I'm speaking because he's asked me to speak,
yeah, bro.
not because I'm not chasing the money. I'm not chasing anything. I'm chasing souls.
Come on, man. Let's
So
go.
if I speak at a stage, if anybody ever wants Tio to speak at your stage, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be blessed. I'm going to tell you if you ask me to speak on your stage, you're going to be blessed. And I'm going to tell you why. It's not because of egos. Either one of us don't have egos. And I've always said, if you ever see my ego, please punch it in the face. Please, right?
Right,
It's because we both understand that the message that we're delivering is not about us.
right.
It's about how can we help you become a greater person in this world, a greater person who is better with their family, with their spouse, with their children, with their colleagues, with their community. This is how I speak. I speak from not only my heart, but what God has put in my soul.
Yeah,
So did you hear my speech last time in Tampa? Were you there?
I was there. I heard it. I
Right.
felt it. My soul was touched. 100%.
But here's the thing, and yours touched everyone as well. But here's the thing. You and I have both seen so many people get on a stage and they think that they're better than anybody in the audience.
Right, right.
And look at me, look how awesome I am, look at this angle. And all of a sudden, they're wondering, hey, you know what? And we've both seen people who are very high caliber, but they're still thinking, I'm better than all of you. We
Right.
were at a stage in New York where one of our speakers, which I'm not interested in ever having him again, came out and said, I'm better than all of you. He
Mm.
literally said it in his speech.
I wish
And
I
I
was
was like,
there. I wish I was
I
there,
said,
bro. Mm.
I said to myself, I'll share that video with you. And I said to myself, wow, now there goes somebody who needs some real help.
Yeah,
There goes somebody who does not see themselves. They only see themselves above everyone else. I never want to be above you, ever, because God does not, the only one above us all is God.
that's it.
And when you talked earlier about you boxing with God, your arms are not long enough.
It's not. They're not.
But if you don't have a conversation with God, if sometimes you don't say, God, why? Right? Listen, when my brother passed when he was 42 years old, he was too young, 42. Every time I come out of my bathroom, his picture's right there. I see my brother every single day.
Mm. Wow.
Every single day, I see him. And I'll do this, right? The picture's there, and he's with his wife and his daughter. And I'll do this. I'll look into his eyes, and I'll do this. I'll go, love you, and thank you. Because 42 years, he was able to touch all of us. I got to tell you, the man was super funny. Oh my goodness. Funny, 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 funny.
Mm.
Where there's a billion stories about him, but he only lived 42 years. Imagine if he still would be around today. We would be able to enjoy him more. But I know one thing. He has become one of my guardian angels.
Yeah.
Just like my sister, who I used to hold hands with, and she passed away when I might have been maybe 3 years old. And there's images of her and I just holding hands. And I don't remember, I mean, I remember her, but I don't remember her and I holding hands, but my siblings who are older said, you guys were inseparable. You held hands everywhere you went.
Mm.
Now, the only reason I have more lives than a cat is because she's been my guardian angel.
Yeah.
She's protected me when I should have died so many
Yeah.
times over. And I've made a decision that if I've been fortunate enough to live as long as I have, that I have to shine my light just the way you shine your light on others to help them see the beauty in their life.
Yeah.
This is where we have made a decision who we are.
That's right.
Every morning, I start with prayer, meditation. I bring everybody into my life. Everybody who needs something, I'm willing to give it. I don't want your money. If you can't afford my services, I'm okay with that. But if you think I work for nothing, You're absolutely wrong.
Right,
I don't,
right,
just like you don't.
right.
But if I need to give you a hand, I don't want anything in return.
Yeah, that's really you, Sifu. Like straight up and down, man. Like you you really show the things that you're doing when nobody's watching. The things that you do, Sifu, when no one's watching, shows up when everybody's watching. Some of y'all out there, y'all missed it, bro. Like Robbie Lytle, Mike, whoever's out there in the chat. If you're out there in the chat, man, hey, let us know you're here. Let us know where you
Yeah,
are. Engage with us, man. This is not one of those, oh, it's them and then it's us. No, engage. Fellas is
absolutely.
dropping a lot of good jewels in the chat, but man, it really shows up the things that you do. Waking up in the morning, first thing, whether it's before your feet hits the ground or the floor, or after your feet hit the floor, the first thing you're doing is giving thanks. You're praying. You're allowing God to see and know, which He already knows because He's all knowing. The first thing I'm doing before anything, as good brother Lancelot always talks about, this thing. This thing, boy, it can be very dangerous, as we know out there. If you allow it to be, you got to decide. You can't drift off. But and then,
It's
and
called a
then
smartphone, isn't it,
say
Theo?
again.
It's called a smartphone.
Yeah, smartphone. Yeah,
Wait,
absolutely.
nobody uses it like a smartphone.
Right, right. We only see the technological aspect of smartphone, like Chat GPT, and no, bro, be smart about it. Sit it down. Speak to God first, bro.
Yeah,
Because everything you just said in sequential order. If you rewind this back and go back from the time you began to speak about your brother all the way until you capped it off in the end, I was just sitting here listening to you, and I'm like, yo, it shows up with what Seafood does. The things that he's doing behind the scenes when nobody's watching, you can see it when we're all watching, and how you conduct yourself, how you carry yourself. Like you said, the hogs down in Tampa. You're a natural giver. You're a natural. Make sure everybody eats first before you eat. You got to understand, Sifu, as Marines, that's huge for us, bro. Because as leaders, as the good Simon Sinek, utilize some of us to help him with leaders eat last. It's the truth. The troops eat first.
mm,
Our children, who's the house is full of everybody. Who eats first? Who gets their plates made first? The children, the understanding, the best part, the babies. So those same principles that you're doing when nobody's watching, they show when everybody's watching. I've repeated it like 4 times now because I've seen it. I've seen it from city to city. I've seen you in New York. I've seen you in Philly. I've seen you down in Florida. I've seen you, operating in different spaces, man. You've traveled the world. You've been global. You help people globally. You help your community. You're like right there in your community, and I've seen your community. It is a beautiful community, a nice community. I caught the train to your community, caught an Uber to your establishment. And the whole time, I won't say you were running around. You were strategically moving to ensure that everyone was served properly, bro. That's why I'm gonna always rock with you because I know your spirit is rooted in God for real, bro. Like straight up. Not when times get tough. Oh, times get tough and you forget about God. Times get tough and you forget about us praying together, Seafood. You and I have worshiped God together down in Florida. So I'll be honest, man. These decisions, when you listen to a lot of people that's in business and you're doing these virtual coffees, as we call them, or Zoom calls, phone calls, and you're dealing with a lot of different nuances of people, if you cut through the fluff of it, It's what you just said. Like we understand our value. We know our value is worthy, but we're still extracting that value. This is a real right here. So I'm gonna say it perfectly clear because we can chop this up into a real. We extract the value and still give the glory to God. We extract the value and still give the glory to God, bro. My mother told me a long time ago, Sifu Rafael, she said, one, son, money doesn't grow on trees. And she said, do not spend it just because you got it. And I'm a young fella. And I'm just like, man, I see green in my head. And I'm going to the movies. And man, we're going to see Rocky. And matter of fact, it was the Rocky with Hulk Hogan in it. When Hulk Hogan threw Rocky over the, side of the ring. And I loved Hulk Hogan as a kid. He's got a documentary out right now. It's phenomenal. Before y'all go watch that, though, watch The Veteran with Lancelot Theobald. So, because he's us, he's internal. So check out his movie. But, I watched the Hulk Hogan. The last thing about Hulk Hogan was he was racist. That's one of the last things. Hulk Hogan's racist. His daughter captured him saying the N-word when nobody was watching, right? Man, there's billions of people across this planet, to include African Americans, to say the N-word every single day, right? I know how Hulk Hogan made me feel as a kid. He was a hero, bro. Who is the country beefing with right now? Iran. Back then, when Reagan was in the seat, 84, 85, or 89, whichever one it was, there was hostages from America, being held by Iran. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna pass the mic back to you, Sifu. Iron Sheik. You remember the wrestler Iron Sheik? Hey, y'all, decide or drift. Hey, Hulk Hogan decided for me to bust through the stratosphere and become the mega superhero that this country is so desperately seeking. He said it was only right. We were battling in terms of the United States of America with Iran back then in the 80s. They say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. History repeats itself. All these different things. If you watch that documentary, you can kind of see the build up in terms of where we are today. That's why leadership is so important. That's why Sifu Raphael and I say unified leadership, bro. We sat on the phone. I'll never forget it the rest of my life. We sat on the phone and we went through all of these scenarios of what we wanted to label, what we're speaking on this beautiful first day of the month of May 2026. I couldn't get it out this morning. Sifu, man, I love you, dog. Like all jokes aside, bro. Like it's a beauty when you could tell your brothers that you love them. It really is a beauty. It is a beauty because my real brother, Kenny Clay, shout out to Bishop. You met him in Florida, my brother, glasses. We don't always see eye to eye, Sifu, but I still love him with every fiber of my body. He's my big brother, dog. And we both try to come to the reality that, hey, man, as brothers, sometimes we care so much and we're passionate to that degree of to where that passion can really get to our egos in its own way. Back to what Robbie Lytle said, man, that edging God out. He knows the Lord, my brother. I know the Lord. Just like you and I, Sifu, when we speak, like you said, we're landing the plane on the same tarmac. And you said it, man, and I pulled it up. And I'm gonna say it and then I'm gonna hit it. You said, I'm not chasing money, bro. I know my value. I know I'm worth what we're worthy of. God doesn't intend for us to be broke, bro. God never said, oh, be broke.
Right.
But in the same token, You said, man, I'm chasing souls. And that deserves a good applause, bro. Yeah. I'm chasing souls, bro. Like, cause that's you made me very happy this morning hearing that confirmation because I'm chasing souls. And sometimes it's not comfortable. And because when we dive into that aspect of, there's a lot of soulless drifting going on out there in the world.
Mm.
Right here, face to face with what we see every single day. So um, I look forward to these moments, Seafood, because I know when I go back and watch this, because I always do. I go back and I'll watch it, bro. Sometimes right after we record it, I'll watch the whole thing. Sometimes when I'm riding in the car, I'll listen to the whole thing. And I'm like, man, every week we're stretching it further and further and further into that abyss of leadership, and I know that it's ordained, it's really backed in God. So when the fellas come by to support us at 8:30 in the morning, the ladies,
Yeah,
friends,
really
family,
appreciate that.
it really means a lot, bro. But we're asking you all to get in the room with us, man. We got Atlanta coming, man, in September. You got to show it to them, Seafood. You got to
I'm
show it
gonna
to them,
do
brother.
before we do that. I just want to touch on two things, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, God is
You
proud of
talked
us.
about Florida, right? And Florida is when you really let me know who you were, right? When you were on speaking, you didn't even go to the middle of the stage. You stayed on one end of the stage.
Yeah,
And you really, your heart was so visible.
yeah.
And you were you had your book out and you had
Yes,
a
sir.
table. And towards the end, I went over to you and I said, Keo, I want to support you.
Right.
I want to buy your book.
Mm,
And you could have said, sure, it's $200. I would have said, here.
right.
But you told me what it was, and it was no brainer for me, right? But it didn't matter the amount of money that you said to me because the words I said were the real ones for me. I want to support you. You could have even said, hey man, I want to gift you my book.
Hmm.
But I would have not enjoyed it as much because if I said I want to support you and then I take it away from you, then I'm not supporting you, right?
Right. Right.
So I said, you said the amount, I said, here you go, right? I didn't have to think, oh, I don't know if I can afford it, or I don't know, I don't know, it's too much. No, whatever it was, I was like, here you go, perfect, thank you, I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. And I could have just bought the book, but you signed it, right? So not only do I have your book, but I have, you
Yeah.
signed it. And you said, Brother Sifu Rafael, you are a He-Man. Love you, bro, and keep shining your light always.
Yeah.
September 28th, 2024, Mud He-Man Conference, Miami.
Mm.
I gotta tell you,
Wow. Ooh-wee, boy.
that was a special day, man. That was
That's
a lot of
potent.
people didn't make it. Why? Because there was a storm coming.
Yeah,
I
bro.
flew from New York, you flew from Atlanta.
Yes.
We made sure we were there because
Yes.
no storm was going to stop me from supporting, right?
Yes.
Our good brother, right? So
Yes.
when you think about that weekend, it was a beautiful time, and that's where I really said, "Wow, that's a special guy. I really need to get to know him more." And I am beyond thrilled that you came to our New York City experience events. You've been to every one, right?
Yeah.
And we've gotten closer and closer and closer and closer. And doing these shows, man, your heart, I see it. There's another thing that I see a lot of people may not see. I see your cape, man. You're a superhero for me. So I want to talk to you about something that I decided when I was a youngster, and then I'm going to show that video. When I was young, I stunk at basketball. I stunk so bad that I made a decision. I could have just kept playing like all the other kids on my block, right? And, you know, trying to hit it, missing the basket, not even getting close to the basket. Like, here's the basket, and I'm going, oops, not even hitting it, right? So
Sifu, are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm ambidextrous.
So you shoot left and right?
Yes.
Okay, because I saw you do it. I saw you put your left hand when you made the motion. All right, continue on, bro. I just wanted to.
But I can do the motion this way, I can do it this way, right? So, but here's the
Okay.
thing, right? And the reason I became ambidextrous is a story for another time. But I made a decision that I was not going to stink at basketball anymore.
Mm,
So I would go and shoot baskets for hours. I would shoot them close. I would shoot them far. I would shoot them from as you could barely see the hoop, and I was shooting it. I was as far as I could throw it. And eventually, I started making baskets,
yes, sir.
one after the other, after the
Mm,
other, after the other. And it was at a point where I was barely ever missing. I was getting swoosh, 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 swoosh. It didn't matter overhands, over the top, but it didn't matter, right? And some of the kids were like, when I never got picked before, now I was getting picked to be on the
yes,
team.
yes.
But it was only because I made a decision. Now, there was a gentleman, I think he was during halftime, I forget what game it was. He came out, a white kid like me, right? He came out and he shot from every angle. Never missed, never missed. And people were like, oh, yeah, this guy's never going to miss. It doesn't matter. Then they stopped paying attention. And then he missed. Everybody started clapping. Because guess what people want to see?
Yeah, they want to see the
Failure.
hero fall, bro. That's it.
Yeah. They want to see somebody not fully succeed. So what you have to consider is that nobody's perfect.
That's right.
No one is perfect.
Oh, this is so powerful, man, because one of my favorite players of all times is Larry Bird, bro. But as a kid, my mother, grandmothers, the matriarchs, they always taught, hey, you don't hate anyone. You don't hate anyone. God doesn't hate anyone. You don't hate anyone. So I won't say I hated Larry Bird, but I had an extreme dislike for Larry Bird. And and why? Because like you just said, I could picture it. New York City, Jamaica, Queens, the hoop with either the chain rims or no nets at all. Just New York has a special flavor when it comes to basketball, man. It's
Mhm.
it's, it's the mecca. Um, in so many different aspects, but um, Larry Bird was killing fools. Like you couldn't stop Larry Bird. I mean, from college to the NBA, you couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
But as I began to appreciate the game a lot more, because I played ball, obviously, I realized like, yo, he has he has a special skill that I must respect because he developed that skill, bro. He really developed it. And I just got a message about one of our buddies that was released from the hospital. Um,
Mm.
but I just want to say it for the context of time. I began to really respect Larry Bird and appreciate Larry Bird. I got his jersey hanging in my closet right now, number 33, Boston Celtics, man. Like I had to get it because I was just like, man, he represents Larry Bird represented, and nobody talked more crap than Larry Bird. And
Mm.
when you hear all the greats speak about Larry Bird, from Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, and Karl Malone, all the names, Magic Johnson, they like, yo,
Hey, Dana.
we couldn't stop him. Like, and he talked crap. You know what I'm saying? And Larry Bird wasn't the most athletic, but he developed his skill set, man. And he was relentless. So there's a reel out there floating around right now. It's new. It's new within this last week, and they asked Larry Bird about that LeBron and Michael Jordan comparison, and he said it straight up, like the biggest trash talker of all time, Larry Bird. He had his quills up again, like he had to put his quills up, just like you with four brothers throwing a snowball at your back. And you growing up in rough Jamaica Queens, bro, like Jamaica high school. Like that's real seafood. And it shaped you in so many different ways. Um, Larry Bird said, hey man, it wasn't Michael Jordan's skill set so much, his athleticism. He has a lot of God-given talent. He said the great separator for Michael Jordan was his will to win. And he said,
Decision.
he said the only other player that I saw with that same type of bloodthirsty hunger to win was Kobe Bryant. And he said, so when you look at Michael Jordan, you look at Kobe, you see that perfect rendition of a young man who cloned himself under that same will to win, if that makes sense. So, and then I think about Mike Tomlin. Obviously he just left the Pittsburgh Steelers, coached Pittsburgh for many years. And this is not a sports show, you all. So don't get it twisted out there. Like this is not ESPN. We're not Stephen Smith and whoever out there. Skip Bayless. Sifu's not Skip, and I'm not doggone Club Shay Shay. We're unified leadership. And if those
That's right.
guys, if they watch this, they're going to be like, man, those guys know what the heck they're talking about in terms of leadership. So I tell you, Sifu, man, you've really touched my heart today because it still funnels itself back to deciding and drifting. You've decided from the day you came out the womb. You decided, yo, I'm going to walk. With the braces on your legs and all those things that you experienced as a kid. I'm not going to allow being poor. You told me straight up, yo, we were poor. We worked for everything we got, Tio. And that kind of shapes the value. So brother,
It
unified
absolutely
leadership is
does,
special.
you. It absolutely does. So what I would love is I'm gonna about to play that video that you talked about
Mhm.
because we kind of postponed our event because we're gonna focus on September 25th through 27th, and we're bringing it to you. That's my good friend Dana Abbott. He is considered. Listen, if you don't know, now you do. He's considered the samurai, the U.S. samurai, the number one guy in the world to me, right? Because
Wow.
he lived in Japan for many years, and he was trained by the number one guy there. And Dana is just when you talk about leadership, the guy knows it, right?
That's
So
it. Shout
good to
out to
see you,
Dana.
Dana.
Yeah. Shout out to Dana, bro.
And when you consider what we are doing, we're bringing what we're doing about leadership. We're going to bring it instead of doing it in New York. We said let's focus in Atlanta where Tio is. So
Mhm.
Tio, he's going to be hosting us. So myself, Lancelot, and Jose. I'm going to tell you something about Lancelot. Talk about leadership, right? He's going to. He's not going to be able to be at our New York City Mastermind Experience Monday mornings for the next couple of weeks because he's going to be shooting a movie,
That's
right?
right.
He's doing another movie. And while he's on the set of shooting the other movie, his new movie is coming out. The Veteran is coming out May 12th. And so he's going to be on the set while that movie comes out. So that's kind of
Yes.
cool for him. And so think about who's going to be in Atlanta. Coach Tio's he's hosting us. I'm going to be in Atlanta. Lancelot, who's a big time celebrity, is going to be in Atlanta. Jose Escobar, who leads a community of over 600 people, is going to be in Atlanta. The four of us, we are looking for leaders to be part of the room.
Yes.
But I'm going to
Yes.
tell you what, we do not want everyone as a speaker.
Right.
Side note, yesterday I had to say no to somebody who wanted to be a speaker. Because we're only looking for value. If it doesn't come from here, from up and down, right, through you, then the message is not going to be something that needs to be. Listen, somebody can go to YouTube and listen to all the nonsense they want to, right?
Right.
But if you want real, authentic leadership, you need to come to Atlanta, September
Yes.
25th through the 27th. Now, right now, we are giving it away. For the first 20 people, we already have some people up. We're giving it away. It's so dirt cheap. I've never been to an event, and I pay for events, that's been that cheap. So
Right.
take a look. I'm going to share this commercial with you guys. Take a peek.
The city never sleeps, and neither do the dreamers who build its pulse. From every corner of the globe they come. Visionaries, creators, leaders, each carrying a spark ready to ignite the world. This is not an event, it's a revolution of rhythm and reason. A symphony of minds, a movement of momentum. Sifu, Rafael, Lancelot, Jose Escobar. Together they set the stage for brilliance. This is the NYC experience. Mastermind, light up the city. They coming from the east, coming from the west. Knowledge on deck, put the truth to the test. Leaders in motion, hearts in sync, dropping wisdom so deep it'll make you think. They bring stories, sweat and flame, different faces, one shared name. Elevation, that's the sound. NYC experience, mastermind, where purpose is found.
Woo! I got to
Yeah.
tell you, we changed the website. So the website is now, it's got its own identity. It's New York's NYC Experience. I'm sorry, NYC Mastermind Experience.com. You go there, you can purchase your tickets. We're even going to have something really special. Can I talk about that for a sec, Tio?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
A round table. It's a private round table. So you can get tickets, you can get a VIP ticket, but you still can't join us at the round table. The round table is a special event. It's a 2-hour event with the four of us, Coach Tio, Jose, Lancelot, and myself. And it's a round table. We already have people who bought into the round table.
Mhm.
It's a mastermind with the four of us. You can ask us questions. We're going to go and drive it a certain way. It's going to be so incredibly powerful. And this is happening somewhere special. We can't
Yes.
even tell you yet, but
Yes.
it's happening, right?
Yes.
So we're curating a really incredible experience because for us, it's not an event. Because I've been to events. You can go to a room, you can listen to speakers, you go home, you're done. Next, with us, we're going to teach you also how to make that experience continue. We're still talking about the Tampa experience, and that was back in
Yes.
February, right? And people are still reaching out to me and saying that was beyond an incredible experience. I'm still on a high from it. I've learned so much from it. I've made so many connections. I've made these powerful, powerful connections. I've made business happen because of it. I've done collaborations. I've even started a new business because of it. So,
Yes.
what are you looking for when you are coming to our events? We can't tell you what to look for. You actually, you don't know what it feels like to play a basketball game from the sidelines.
Right.
You actually have to dribble. You have to jump. You have to run across the court. We can't do it for you. You have to feel it yourself.
Mhm.
And I got to tell you, Michael Stevenson, he's an incredible, huge part of our experiences.
Yes,
And,
sir.
and the man is just, I love him so much, right? And I met him at an event, and I knew immediately
Yeah.
that he and I needed to connect. And he can tell you a story one day, I'm sure, about how he and I connected. But he's another gentleman that I truly love, right?
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
know that
man.
you're getting to know him as well.
Oh, I love
And
Mike,
when,
man.
yeah,
Shark
he's
seafood.
powerful.
So you
And the
take,
more we consider what we're doing, I would love to have you with us, Robert.
yes, yes. He's got to
I
come. Lido, you got to
here's
come,
what I
bro.
say, right? You can't cross the river if you don't get in the boat.
Right.
You can't cross the bridge unless you go over it, right? There are things that we have to do in life that will impact us. But a lot of times we live in a state of I should have, I could have. Your choice. Where will you be 3 years from now if you didn't take action today?
Right.
That's my question for everybody.
Yeah, man. Lido, you
Where
need to
would
come,
we
bro.
be today, Tio,
Mm.
if we didn't take action and say, let's put this show together? Tio, can
Yeah.
you tell them how we even came up with the song? It wasn't just me, it was us, right?
Yeah, it
It was
was us.
it was
Yeah.
a unified leadership moment that we came up with the name, we came up with the logo, we came up with the song, we came up with ideas about the show. Would you mind speaking on that? And I know we're
Absolutely.
over time. I know that.
Yeah, I'll be brief, man. First and foremost, man, I have to say this, man. Robert Lido, man, you're us, bro. You're at our table. You know what I'm saying? Like it's soon to be Dr. Robert Lido, man. As soon as that dissertation finishes up in the next couple months. So we love you, bro. And just like Sifu saw the vision of Atlanta, that trust, that authenticity, ATO. Hey, let's bring the New York experience to Atlanta. I was like, bro, let's go. And same thing. Why can't we come to Dallas? You're down in Dallas, Robert. You know what I'm saying? And you like the mayor down
2027,
there. Yeah,
2027, we're gonna make it happen.
that's it. He's like the mayor down in Dallas. So it's all coinciding, for the good of those man that are out here doing the right thing, walking in righteousness to the best of our ability. And Mike Stevenson, man, like we take a lot of photos, as you can see in what Seafood just played. You could see the smiles, you could see the togetherness, you could see the just aspect. It's deeper, bro. Like Seafood's been saying, going to a conference is going to a conference, going to a summit is going to a summit. Got it. Man, this experience is a real experience, like straight up. And I personally,
I remember us getting pizza in New York City, right?
bro, come on, man. We went down, to the Rockefeller Center, bro, during Christmas and saw the ice skating, brother. Like special moments, bro.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
we also at a different time we were across the Madison Square Garden.
come
Another
on,
time we
bro.
were somewhere else,
Come
right?
on,
We took a
bro.
long walk. We were by
Yes.
34th Street.
Yes.
and then we were with Albina, and we were with other people.
Yes.
We were
Every
with
experience, bro. Every
yeah,
experience has
experience.
been, it's been so phenomenal. And the people who come are the right people. You know, and the people who come that are not the right people, they know they're not the right people. Because if you're not in it to win, like if you're not there to serve, if you're not there to impart your best version of you on others, as Sifu said, for it to continue to carry on. You know, Tampa still talking about it to this day, bro. You know, it's almost, for me, Tampa is one of those. Uh, I somehow ended up on my knees. Sifu wasn't there. Sifu was serving. He's running back and forth to the airport, making sure people are good. And when I spoke, I ended up on my knees talking about, some very powerful things from the book. And it's one of those, every time I think back to that moment, I'm just like, wow, man, thank God, bro. Because these are the curated environments that I really work hard to be a part of. That I'm gonna ensure, bro, if I gotta put back $50 every time I get paid and build up my arsenal to have the money to get to where I need to be or whatever, it's nothing like it, bro. And again, that spawned these moments. And
That's
man, I
right.
thank you, Sifu. I thank you, bro. I always tell you, because hey, God willing, I pray I wake up in the morning. But if I do not, I can look you in the face as a brother and tell you I love you. And I truly thank you, bro. You haven't backstabbed me. You haven't tried to play me to the left or anything crazy, bro. Like, no, bro, we're focused. We're locked in. And you gave me about 10 versions of our theme intro song. It was like 10 verses. I remember I was sitting at the Tesla charger and we're listening to each one. And most of them, you all out there listening, watching, most of them, they were all fire. But it was, I needed that 100 bona fide percent. Yo, that is it.
We both said it. We both knew it.
We knew it. We say, yo, that's the one. And just like with the NYC experience, that's the one. And when you hear that in the environment, it's one thing hearing it here, through the stream waves. But when you're in the building and that song comes on, Sifu Rafael, Lancelot, Jose Escobar, and you're there. And it's like, wow, bro. It's not, oh, servitude to these guys or these names that's been said on the song. You appreciate the effort. You appreciate the hard work. Going back to what we said, man, Sifu, Lancelot, deciding that, hey, man, we both live in New York. We're in two separate areas of New York, but we're going to bridge this thing together and we're going to curate and open up opportunity for people. And then Jose saw the vision and was like, yo, I want to be a piece of that, bro. Like, it's phenomenal. Then I see it. I'm like, hey, Sifu, like, man, what can I do to serve, brother? Yeah, I'll sweep the floor. I'll sleep on the floor, whatever I need to do. I just want to be in the building with the best leaders that I see that's out here, man, genuinely doing what they need to do. So thank you, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. We're here for one another, right?
Yeah.
I think that we should do a show on even how we decided to become unified leadership.
Yeah, that would be good.
And I have a problem, and I want not only you, but I want everyone to help me solve it. Unified leadership is Tio, Coach Tio Clay, and Sifu Rafael. That's not unified. It's unified between us. But for us to really become fully unified, Coach Tio, Sifu Rafael, but we need the other legs to this
Yeah.
triangle,
Yes.
this pyramid. We need you. to be
Right.
part of it. We need you. I appreciate everybody making a comment and doing this. But if we said, hey, we're actually going to have a virtual event, maybe it's 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours. Are you willing to spend a few dollars to be with us so that we can bring people like Robert Lytle into the
Yeah, bro.
platform? So we can bring Jose Escobar into the platform. So we can bring Lancelot into the platform. So we can bring Carly into the platform so that we can have Renee in the
So
platform.
many.
So
Dr.
I am
Reed, just
looking
so
at
many good people, man.
having a bunch of speakers be here with us.
Yeah.
So, Robert, we want you there with us, right? We're going to have a virtual. We want you to be one of the speakers.
Yeah,
We're
bro.
going to, so you said yes right now. So, it's going to happen. We're not sure exactly when, but it's going to happen. It's going to be probably, it may be on a Sunday, it may be on a Friday, it may be a 5, 6 hour event. We probably will do it on a Friday. Maybe we'll start Friday morning and go all the way through, right? And I think that Tio and I will figure out some dates, and then we're going to get all these high level speakers to come and be part of it, for them to share a crisp 15, 20 minutes of whatever stands for them. And it's not a listen to a speaker speak. Oh my goodness. No,
Mhm.
it's where you're going to come in, you're going to go, I got a pen. Oh, oh wait,
Yes.
I got a book. Oh, okay, now. Oh my God, what did he say again? Oh, what did she say again? And that's the kind of event we're looking to put together. So
Right.
if you're in, you're in. If you are not sure, then leave it to God. If you
Yeah.
believe in God, leave it to God and ask Him, should I participate? Are 6 hours of my time going to project me in my business, in my livelihood, in my relationships, or not? And if it's a no, hey, that's a great answer. We don't want you there anyway because it's a no for you. And a no for you is all we need. But if it's a yes, don't sit on the fence with a yes. Get to the other side. Because sitting on a fence for a long time is going to hurt your tush. Just saying. Right?
That's right. That's right.
So listen, I know we ran over. Next week, Gil, what speaks to you? What should we talk about next week? I'm ready to write it down. I'm ready to make it happen. So look, I take notes in everywhere. I have things that I take notes on, everywhere, all kinds of books. I write notes everywhere. So what speaks to you, Theo? So we can come up with a great topic, even just now, off the cuff, something that really needs to be spoken about, something that's going to help not you because you already know it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's going to help me, but maybe in reality, it's going to help anyone who's listening or anybody who's going to share it.
Yeah. I think something to the effect of pushing beyond your normal comfort. That's kind of where my spirit went because that's what it takes to get to Atlanta. You know, it takes a different gear within you to say, hey, the 5 W's, the who, what, when, where, and why. Some say why is the most important. Some say who's most important. Oh, I don't want to go and be with T.O. and Sifu. I don't like those guys. You know
I
what?
will shower. I will shower.
What? Uh, it's the mental blocks. Some it's the what. Some it's what am I getting out of that? When? I can't do that, man. That's too far out. You know, September. I don't even know what I'm gonna be doing in June, let alone September. Where? I don't like Atlanta. It's too many black people down there. That's Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? It could be all of these someone from true transformation, from true breakthrough. You know, I've been to St. Petersburg a few times as a kid with my parents. They took us down there. We went to the beach. You know, first time I ever saw little lizards running around in the grass. Um, I had started my locks back then, and I got sand all in my locks. And we were
Mm.
down there for a church conference that my father had to be at. And my mother said, "You're not going to church tomorrow with your head looking like that, son." And I had to cut it off. My dad had some old clippers. He buzzed my head, and I was so hurt because I wanted to be like some of the rappers I saw on TV that had the little twisties in their head. So now here I sit, all of these years later. So who, what, when, where, and why? I think next week, I mean, that could be the topic. Who, what, when, where, and why? Because
You got it.
it's those five aspects that usually block the transformation. You know, whereas, you know, I said it the other day, in order to gain, you have to lose. You said it today. In order to gain, bro, you got to lose. You used your fists as the analogy. A yes automatically takes away the no. A no automatically takes away the yes. You said it. And it's the same principle. And I think
Holy system.
right. And it's the Autobahn right now. And like you said, we're overtime. I know you got other shows to do today, Sifu, so we'll roll out. It's like the Autobahn, man. It's everything is happening. And everybody has choices. See, during COVID, it was almost like a false sense of reality because during COVID, everybody was here and everybody was like, wow, you know, everything changed. Everything that we would normally do in person got funneled into this space. But I'm telling you all, I would look at my wife and I would say, babe, I'm going to New York to be with Sifu now. And babe, I can't miss it. Like these are opportunities of a lifetime that I'll never probably get the chance to ever do again. Unless I blow up and become this big, huge Tony Robbins style speaker speaking in Madison Square, which I'm not saying is off the table, but that's not what my heart desires. My heart
You should
desires,
make that happen.
yeah, my heart desires differently. My heart desires that moment. I was physically looking out the window and I could see Madison Square Garden, man. Oh my God, bro. Like that to me was my zenith of speaking. Not, oh, it's a Super Bowl crowd of people. It's not that. It was the full circle moment for me. And I knew no matter whatever it takes, man, if I plane, train, automobile, I'm there. And it was this gentleman, Sifu Rafael, that said, T.O., he whispered in my ear, T.O., I want you to speak. I want your value to be shared in this room. But you got 5 minutes, T.O. I know you like to run your mouth. So you got 5. So again, man, Atlanta's going to be special. Man, I'm on the horn with these different people with the different venues, and some are outlandish expensive that I'm learning about. Some is right in the medium where we need, but it's going to be right, you all. Trust in us, you know, invest in yourself. It's not investing in us, bro. We're not lining our pockets up and running around like, hey, you know, no, you're investing in yourself, man. And I'm just grateful, man. Thank you, Sifu. I can keep running my mouth. We can go another hour, which I know we can't, but you know, my sales tactic is real. It's I don't believe in just try to sell you with no real fluidity with that. You
I
know, we're not
I gotta interrupt you, and I think there's somebody that I want in the room with us, and I know that you have their ear.
yes, sir.
Kissy,
Wife? Oh yeah, she'll come. Kizzy will
I
come,
know
bro.
we need her there.
She will come.
We're gonna give her a spot, right? So,
Kizzy will come. She'll be happy to
but I
come,
want you
bro.
to send me her information. I'm gonna throw it up. Okay, send me her
Okay.
bio because I know she's a speaker and I
Yes,
know she's a motivator.
she
So
is,
and
man.
also send me her image, whatever she, but confirm with her first, right? So
Right, right, right.
right, But
I
do
will,
that
man.
as soon as you can, because I want to throw her up there. I want people to understand the power in Atlanta,
Yeah,
the
it's gonna be
power
good, bro.
of you and your beautiful wife
It's electric.
to be with us, right? So, and then I don't know, I know your daughter's not too far away. I know that she's a celebrity and so forth. We'd love to have her in the room as well.
Okay,
So,
I'll talk
listen,
to her.
I'd love your dad to be there. Your dad's phenomenal. I'd love your
Thank you.
brother to be there. Listen, just bring the whole Clay clan.
Yes, I'll check with her, man. I will.
All right. Listen, we got a boogie. I love you, brother. You guys
Love you
have
too,
an
man.
exceptional. Share this episode with somebody who needed to hear today's episode.
Yes.
Peace, brother.
Peace.
Unify leadership. Let's move.
Let's lead. Let's ride.
Unify leadership.
Light the flame, turn it up loud. Remember the